Hey, it's Jen, Vegan Adventures of Jean and Jen, but it's just me up in the girl room one more time. Today is the second day. Well, it isn't the second day, it's the second video in the little series I'm doing about my intentions for the year. And I ended up with like 40 of them. And if you don't know what in the world I'm talking about, the video before this one, I talked about how I came to have these, how I wrote them out, the order that they came out in, all that kind of stuff. And the second one was about that I will have high standards. And that means for everything, not just for the food I eat, not just for the people that I'm around, but everything. What I put in my body, who I have around me, the kind of people I associate with. I'm not going to associate with people that are negative. I don't care who they are. I'm not going to have that. I'm not going to associate with people that are mean and hurtful. I will not. I will not have that in my life. I will give people the chance. I will tell them this behavior of yours is upsetting to me, and this is why. And if they choose to continue having that behavior, then we aren't going to continue a relationship, and that's just how that's going to go. And I've already done that a couple of times, and it was really quite successful. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be 46 in a couple weeks here. Actually, 2 weeks, pretty much 2 weeks away. My daughter today is 23. So if you see Jade Jennifer, tell her happy birthday. I talked to her a little bit on text and different medias, and I'm going to see her tomorrow because she's got to work today. So she will be doing that. But anyways, I want to talk some more about standards. And I just was talking to one of my very good girlfriends this morning, and you know exactly who you are. And I was saying that, first of all, let me preface this with I need to, one, pick out my jewelry for today. And number two, I am not a big religious person, but I do believe in some certain principles. And one of the things, and Jean mentioned this the other day, concerning this particular situation was, that there are some things that are said that you can't be unequally yoked, which means you can't be tied to another person who's not doing what you're doing. And I don't need to get into like the whole Bible philosophy because, like I said, that's really not my jam. But I do want to say that you can't be with someone who's not moving forward if you're a person that's moving forward. Now, if you're a person who's just like content to, on a Friday at 4, you have 12 PBRs and 2 orders of chicken wings, you throw up and go to bed, that's your thing. And if you are with someone who wants to do that same thing, perfect. Then you guys do that. What I'm talking about is if you're a person who's ambitious, forward moving, you've got some different things going on, and you always have something new going on, you're growing, you're changing, you can't be with someone who's just at the status quo, just this is what I do, without any ambition. You have to be with someone who can have the same kind of energy that you have, who you can feel like is on your team and is going to help you move forward. You have to be with someone like that. Anyone else is just going to kind of hold you down, drag you down, and keep you from realizing your true potential. And you deserve a lot more than that. And it's so unfortunate because we all have friends and loved ones who at times are the kind of people that don't necessarily exhibit a lot of get up and go, but they might be great friends, and that's fine. You can be friends with a person like that. You don't have to do everything that they do. You don't have to copy their life. But by the same token, to be in a relationship, a serious relationship with someone who is happy, kind of hovering over here, and you're like over here, and you just keep going up, 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 and they kind of are hanging on to you, all they're doing is kind of pulling you back down. It's just making it harder for you to go and fly. You want to be with someone who's going to help you fly, not with someone who's going to be a boat anchor around your neck. That's something Jean always says, is that it's really hard to be successful and to get ahead in life when you're tied to someone who holds you back constantly and who can continuously makes your life very, very difficult, whether it's financially, emotionally, relationship-wise, commitment-wise, whatever the case is. So that's something to think about. And it comes down to our food. You should not compromise with your food. If you have the option of, I'm starving to death, I didn't bring any food with me, So I'll stop at the convenience store and I'll grab a bag of potato chips and some beef jerky and a Mountain Dew. Or there's a grocery store that you can see within the same eye span that you have this convenience store. Walk into the grocery store. Get some carrots and some hummus. Get some bananas and romaine. Get anything else but that. Keep your standards high. It's like my friend Tanny, when she goes to the Curb Market, they have, I love that name, Curb Market. We don't call them that here. Here we call them farm stands or farm markets, and they're only open from June until Halloween. And it's really sad. When ours closes, I go into like mourning. Luckily, I have like 4 humongous bags of frozen peppers and things that I was able to get all summer, but they'll be gone, and then, whatever. I'll be paying $7 for 6 peppers, which is exactly what happens at our store. But anyway, you just use them a little more sparingly. Try to eat seasonally. But I was talking about how she goes to her Curb Market, and she has something there called the Ugly Table. Now, the Ugly Table is not like down and out. It's like a little banged up and a little bruised, but they're still really, really good. Like the Ugly Table just means you had a little bit of a rough break. And you can have a little bit of a rough break. And maybe you got a couple scars, a couple dents and bruises. Maybe you have a couple things that aren't perfect anymore. That's okay. But there's also the trash bin, which is the next step from the Ugly Table. If you're just too ugly and too moldy and too rotten and too unhelpable, you can't even get to the Ugly Table. You're just going to sit in the trash bin. And I don't know about anybody else around here, but I'm not into digging in the trash bin for food. I don't mind some things from the Ugly Table. Our farm market has they'll give you these like the giant baskets with the handle, and they'll be like full of peppers, and it's like $5, but it'll say like soft. Like you need to come home, you need to cut them all up and put them in the freezer right away, or cook them, or roast them, or eat them that day. It's that kind of thing, kind of like Tanny's Ugly Table. So it's okay if something's a little beat up and maybe it's had some things happen to it, a couple accidents. That's one thing. But by the time something's in the bin, leave it in the bin. Things from the Ugly Table can be made into beautiful, beautiful things because they still have potential. But things that are in the bin, they're in the bin. And that's just the thing. I'm not going to take the scraps of life. I'm not going to accept what people are just going to toss my way. If it doesn't meet my standards, then it doesn't. And I've made this mistake in years past, relationships past, and I'm not going to mention names because that makes you a jerk, but in different relationships, I always said I wanted someone that was at least as successful as I was. And I mean, I'm no millionaire or anything, but I had my own car, my own house, my own insurance. I paid all my own bills. I had perfect credit. And at different times, I made exceptions to that rule. And I spent my time with people who did not have what I had. And what I find is that they either think you're going to take care of them, or they want to kind of suck the life out of you so that you can help them be people. And what happens in a relationship like that is extreme resentment, anger, and irritation. And I don't need someone to take care of me. I don't need anyone to come and pay my bills or, I think my curling iron's on, hang on. Make sure this is off. I don't want to burn the girl room down. Okay. I see like flames behind me. All right. So anyways, you don't need someone who's going to kind of suck the life out of you to make them okay. And you'll always feel resentment. You want to make sure that the person or people, and this can be anyone, I think as Les Brown talks about, somebody told him once, and I wish I could remember the exact phrase, but if you hang around, and he says something about the people you hang around 10 broke people, you're going to be the 11th. And Gene's grandfather used to say, you hang around coconuts, you'll be a coconut. Which I don't necessarily get, but I get the meaning by it. Because I don't know, is it bad to be a coconut? I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily bad to be a coconut. Because they have their own water, they have their own like little skin, they got the meat inside. I don't know. But I mean, the point being, the people that you choose to have around you you're going to end up like those people. So if you're a person who's moving forward, moving forward, moving forward, do you want someone who's just hovering above the trash bin, who's kind of fallen off the ugly table, and who's just kind of right on the edge of the ugly table, who's just going to fall into the bin? Or even if somebody's on the ugly table, but they're heading out, they're on their way, they're going to go do something, they're going to go make a beautiful soup. Do you want that person? And I guess it's a hard conversation to have, and the conversation is not one that you have with the person that you're discussing. The conversation is the one you have with yourself. And you have to ask yourself, do I love me enough to only choose things that are the best for me? How high are my standards? And you can tell that when you look at someone. You can tell that by the things that they put in their body. You can tell by the way that they act in public. You can tell by the people that they associate with, what they think of themselves. So today, I'm just going to say, you know what? Go, have a beautiful, wonderful day. Don't be afraid of the ugly table, but don't get underneath it, because there's no coming back from that. Upward, onward, be with people who are moving forward. Be with people who have a like mind to you and who want to be successful and who never quit and who just keep on going forward, forward, forward. Even when life knocks you back a little bit, if they get up and they keep on moving forward, that's perfectly okay. You don't have to be around billionaires, but you got to be around people who are moving in a positive direction. We all get knocked back sometimes. We all have bad things happen to us, and that's okay. It happens. That's life, but it's what we do when it happens. Do we just sit and hover in the comfortableness, or do we say, no, this is not good enough for me? I want what's up here, and I can reach that shelf, so I'm going to take the stuff up here, because that's what I deserve. That's what I want. That's what I do, and that's what I want around me and near me. And that's all I have to say about that. So this is super rambly, and so I'm sorry, but all my videos are rambly. So that's it. Keep moving forward. Never, never, never sit down on the job. Never just sit and hover over the bin. You might have gotten knocked back to the ugly table, and that's all right. But you don't have to stay there. You decide. All right, I will see you guys. I've got to go out and get some groceries and run a bunch of errands, so we'll take care of that. I will talk to you later. If you like this video, like and subscribe. If you don't like it, as always, I absolutely don't care. But I still hope you have a great day. I'll see ya.